Welcome to Looking at Legal Stuff. Today we have two hearings in a case with a couple who have a 6-month-old baby, and Dad is motioning the court for parenting time due to Mom not holding up to the agreement they had made outside of court. He says he rarely gets to see the child, and when he does, Mom won't stop hovering over him or allow him to go anywhere with the child. He says he wants to be an equal parent, and he's at his wit's end with Mom's behavior. Mom says it's Dad who hasn't lived up to their agreement, and she thinks he needs supervised visitation due to his mental health. She also says the reason she won't leave him alone with the child is due to her separation anxiety. Let's see what the commissioner thinks.
5-3, Desiree, is it Batches?
Yes.
Okay, and Gage Malia?
Malia.
Malia, okay. And this is the date and time set for hearing on Mr. Malia's motion. Motion was filed regarding parenting time. Have the two of you had a chance to come to any kind of agreement?
No.
No? All right, both raise your right hands. You will swear or affirm any testimony given this cause to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, sir, why don't you explain to me what you're requesting and why? What led you to file the motion?
I want to spend time without having to be constantly watched. That's literally all I'm asking for. Every time I've seen him, she's literally just right there. I can't go out, take him to go do things I would like to do, to go see family members. And my times I have gone to see him at my mom's house, she has constantly complained about the times that I've been able to see him. And I have given her multiple options of what would work, of my mom picking him up. I spend a few hours with him, my mom drops him back off, and that's not okay with her.
All right, so how old's the child?
He will be 6 months on the 26th of this month.
And when did the two of you separate?
We separated when she was about 6 months pregnant, somewhere around that time frame.
And were you there when the child was born?
I was not. I have made plans with my job at the time to take the time off, to be there. She told me that she had COVID, which I had no worry about. I had plenty of time, even if I did get sick from work, to be there and to recover if I did get sick. Come to find out, she told my best friend that she wasn't comfortable with me being there. After we both agreed that she would let me be there. At least that was my understanding when we were still together. If we did break up, that she would still let me be there for the birth of my child.
All right, and then so this is a DP case, so has there been an establishment of paternity yet?
Yes.
In an order, or did you do a DNA test?
I did a DNA test.
Right, was that your own, or was that through the PA's office?
That was through the office right here.
Okay. You got a hearing coming up on that and child support or anything? Or?
Not as I know of yet. Her name's Linda.
Yeah.
I called Linda the other day and she said she's still working on everything.
All right. So you've seen this child how many times since well, 5 months? How many times have you had contact with the child?
With my work schedule, it's been very far and few in between. I'm thankful that my work schedule has kind of calmed down a little bit now. We are still on work, so I'm hoping to make it more than what it was.
And why didn't you file anything with the court like right off the bat? Why? The prosecutor filed this.
Huh?
The prosecutor filed this. Why didn't you file something like right off the bat when the child was born?
Because we had an agreement worked out, and I new to all this. I'm going in not knowing what I'm supposed to do. I'm at a standstill. I'm at a loss. We had an agreement and nothing was ever getting followed. So
All right, and then, so what kind of parenting time are you hoping for here? Like
I'm
overnights, weekends, or half the time, or just a few hours here and there to?
I want to try to at least get 50-50. I have transportation. I have someone to watch him when I am working. I have everything right now figured out.
Okay. They filed a parenting time motion, not a custody motion.
Oh yeah. My bad. Overnights, on and off weekends.
All right, so ma'am, what's your position in all this?
We did have an agreement where he would have time to see him, but Gage was not holding up on his end of seeing him every Tuesday.
Again, it goes back to my work schedule.
Yeah, I mean, so he said he's seen the child a few times over the 5 months. Does that sound about right?
Yes,
All right. And you're always around to essentially supervise when he visits with the child? Is that what's going on?
it's not just that. I have separation anxiety from both of my children, not just Silas.
Okay. So are you opposed to him having more parenting time, including an overnight here and there, or what?
I would like it to be supervised visits
Why?
for the simple fact that Gage has had a lot of mental health issues and has threatened to kill himself numerous times.
When was that?
That was long ago. That was when we were together. I have since then quit the job that I was at that was causing all that, and I've been completely better. It was just an environment I was in that was making it very unhealthy for me, and I have left and have completely bettered myself. I have people that can vouch for me.
So, ma'am, when did those statements or when were those threats made?
It was around the time we broke up.
Just back in April of last year, almost a year ago,
A year ago or so?
around a year ago.
You sought out any mental health treatment or anything like that?
I have not, but I have cut back on things that were triggering me to have bad episodes, and I have been speaking out more and asking for help more when I'm in a position where I need help. Like I said, I have people that can vouch for me. I have people that see me on a daily, my best friends. They see me on a daily. I'm over there all the time. They've noticed a big difference in my mental state since I have said quit my job and have started my new job.
Where do you live now?
I live with my best friend at her grandma's house. I am currently working on getting into my own apartment with another roommate.
Who all lives at that house?
Right now, it is me, my friend and her boyfriend, her grandparents, and her kids, but they are moving out soon.
Anybody have a criminal record of any kind, or
Not that I know of.
have you been substantiated, or investigated for abuse or neglect of children in that house?
No,
They use drugs or drink or excessively or anything like that?
they smoke weed. That's about it. I smoke here and there, not really anymore. No one really excessively drinks because grandma doesn't like it. Yeah, no one really drinks. So
Ma'am, other than those statements about self-harm occurring about a year ago, what else concerns you about Mr. Malia?
That's it, Your Honor.
And the child's 5 months old, so when's the child's birthday?
August 20.
All right, is there anything else you want to say?
All I want to say is I just like to spend time with him without having to constantly be watched. I'm not that bad of a person. I've never put my child in harm's way. And again, I have many people that will vouch for that.
Ma'am, anything else you want to say?
No, Your Honor.
All right, so we've got this reasonable parenting time policy that sets forth what judges in front of the court have considered to be reasonable parenting time for kids, and it kind of graduates over time, but you know, I've deviated from that periodically when circumstances dictate, but you haven't had a lot of contact with the child, so I'm gonna start with this. And for children 0 to a year, which this child would fall into, your parenting time would be every Wednesday from 5 to 8 and every Sunday from 12 to 6. And I'd like to start there. It'll graduate when the child turns a year to overnights. But at this point, because you haven't had much contact with the child, it's reasonable to start without overnights.
Okay, that's understandable.
And that would not be supervised. There wouldn't be any reason that I can tell from what I've heard today that your parenting time would need to be supervised. There's also a holiday schedule. Well, I don't know if that applies to kids that are under the year. I don't think it does.
You said Wednesdays, when to when?
Wednesdays from 5 to 8 and Sundays from 12 to 6.
12 to 6. Okay.
Does that work with your work schedule?
As of right now, it should.
Okay.
I get out of work at 3:30 right now. And as of right now, we're not working weekends. Again, production's super slow. We actually just laid off a few temps, so.
When the child hits a year, it would graduate to 9 a.m. Saturday to 6 p.m. Sunday on alternating weekends, and then Wednesdays from 5 to 8 still. And then at 2 years, it graduates to 6 p.m. Friday to 6 p.m. Sunday, and every Wednesday from 5 to 8. But that would, if you stuck with the reasonable parenting time, that would include like half the summer, half the holidays, every other spring break and stuff like that. So you know, I don't know what the future holds, but I think starting out with the 0 to 1 year is reasonable in light of the circumstances. Reasonable parenting time policy also has a number of administrative provisions regarding like transportation and things like that. The transportation is that you would pick the child up at the beginning of your time, and then, ma'am, you would pick the child back up from him when his time was done.
I don't
so
currently have a vehicle or a license, Your Honor.
How far apart do you guys live?
I live in Big Rapids, and she lives down by my mom in Croton.
So,
Do you mind if I pull my phone out real quick? And I can give you the. Where's my GPS? Yeah, I'm just gonna map it real quick.
this is Stanwood and Wagon.
Yeah, Stanwood.
So that's actually south of Big Rapids, and Croton is east of Wago. So I'm thinking probably 15-20 minutes. You can't put her in a position where she would be forced to drive without a license. Are you do the majority of the driving at this point?
I'm currently tight on funds, so the gas would be the issue.
Like I said, you'll have a support hearing coming up soon. We can maybe deviate from that if you're doing all the driving, because she doesn't have the ability to hold up a portion of that when that time comes.
Okay.
Remind me of that. We're on the record that day.
Okay.
I hear a lot of cases, so I don't remember every.
Nope, that is understandable. I am okay with doing all the driving.
The only other thing, I guess, Ma'am, one of the parenting time considerations for very young children is if they're nursing. Is this child nursing?
Not anymore.
Okay, all right, so that's not a consideration. So yeah, you get the reasonable parenting time policy, look it over and familiarize yourself with all the provisions in there. Again, when your support hearing comes up, if you have any questions about that or things that aren't working, you can let me know. And I can try to clarify,
Okay.
but yeah, I guess that's pretty much it at this point. Is there anything else for today?
I'm literally thinking of something, but like, it's not coming to my head. So
Okay.
as
So, yeah, Wednesday would be the first one, 5 to 8, so you pick the child up at 5, drop back up at 8. And then, Sundays from 12 to 6, so same scenario. Different day.
okay.
And then, like I said, if something's not working or there are major issues, you could bring it up at your support hearing or file another motion if something needs to change before then.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
All right, ma'am, anything else for today?
No, that's it, Your Honor.
All right, you should be all set. You'll get orders in the mail within a couple days.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
Can anybody hear me?
All right, now I can. All right. We'll take up file 22-58653, Desiree Batches and Gage Malia. Mr. Malia is here. Ms. Batches is on Zoom, and this is the date and time set to address paternity and support. And Mr. Walburn here from the prosecutor's office. Mr. Walburn, do you have an update or recommendation?
Yep, visiting to the court. Defendant was served on 12/6/2022. This started out as a paternity case. We did do genetic testing. Defendant was found to be the father by 99.989. It's basically 99.9999999%. So we do have to address the paternity portion. We also have to address the support portion. We did our best to put the information in the support formula. We imputed the plaintiff a minimum wage. Defendant, we had his actual wages. Plaintiff has one additional child. The information we have is the defendant has 0 additional children. We put it in the support formula. It comes out to $474 support, $23 ordinary medical, for a total of $497. There is no birth expense fee on this. There's no agreement on support, so that's why we're in front of the referee.
All right, both raise your right hands. You both swear or affirm any testimony you give in this cause to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, and ma'am, you named Gage Malia to be the father of the child in this matter. And that's CL's Joseph Batches, is that correct?
Silas.
Silas? Oh, I got that. Is that SILAS?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Anyway, you named Mr. Malia as the biological father of that child, is that correct?
Yes.
All right, and it turned out that there was a DNA test and it's conclusive pursuant to that test that he is in fact the father of that child, is that correct?
Yes.
All right, and are you in agreement with order determining him to be the legal father of the child being entered by the court?
Yes, he is the legal father.
Okay, and sir, do you agree that based on that test, you are in fact the biological father of the child?
Yeah.
All right, and do you agree with an order being entered by the court determining you'd be the legal father?
Yep.
All right, Mr. Wellman, then the order of affiliation would be approved.
Got it.
And then the support aspect of this, the recommendation is for $497 a month. Sir, do you agree to that amount?
When we had our last meeting about paternity, you told me to come back because I'm doing all the driving and that you'd compensate me for doing all the driving.
Okay, what was that?
I don't remember when our last court case was.
So between the two of you?
That was between me, her, and you.
Oh, I see. So we filed a parenting time motion?
Yes.
Okay. Are you still doing all the driving?
Yes, but instead of going to her aunt's, I'm now driving all the way to Grand Rapids, which is 50 miles down, 50 miles back, twice a day.
Twice a day?
Because I pick up and drop off. I go down there to pick him up. I have to go home, and then I have to take him back and then come back home. It's 200 miles all the way around.
Not every day of the week.
No, not every day of the week, just
Days you pick up.
Wednesday and Sunday as of right now.
Oh, okay. All right, and ma'am, are you able to do any of the transportation at this time or not?
No, I'm not.
Do you not have a car or no license or what?
I don't have a car of my own and I do not have my license, and my other half does not have his car legal right at the moment.
You have no transportation at all?
No,
You see the
all I
child on
have to my
Wednesdays and
husband is
Sundays?
the city buses, and I can't meet him anywhere with the city bus.
So sir, you're making a trip from where to where?
I'm now living in Big Rapids. I moved back to my sister's while I'm waiting for my apartment to be ready. So I'm driving from Big Rapids to Alpine.
All right, so that mom lives down in Grand Rapids?
Yeah,
Ma'am, you live in
Yes,
Grand
I'm
Rapids
moving.
now somewhere?
Yes,
What's that?
yes, I live in Grand Rapids. I moved out of my aunt's. It was not a safe environment for either one of my children.
So on Wednesdays, you're driving all the way down there
yep, it's an hour both ways as well.
and hanging out down there for a couple hours.
I'm not even hanging out down there. I have nowhere to go with him.
So what do you do on Wednesdays?
I go back home. I drive back to Big Rapids.
Turn around
I,
hours later, and drive all the way back down there?
that's what I have to do. I have nowhere else to go with him, really.
There are things to do in Grand Rapids, all kinds of stuff.
I mean, he's only 7 months old. Where am I going to take him on low funds, though, to go do something? I'm spending $60 Wednesday and $60 Sunday to just get there.
So basically almost an extra tank of gas
Yeah.
twice a month.
The $60 gets me down there and back. So it's an extra tank each day that I take him.
All right, so support bill is monthly, so I'll deviate by $200 a month at this time. $274 a month support, 23 ordinary medical will be $297 a month for all that, to make up for all that travel. If that situation changes, though, you guys have to come back so support can be recalculated.
Okay.
So
So why is
ma'am,
the
if-
child support being deducted from my son because he's doing all the driving?
because he's incurring costs that he should not, if you were able to provide half the transportation, which you ought to be doing, then he would not incur as much of a cost for the transportation as he is, because he has a parenting time order and you're not able to do any of the transportation at this time. You should be splitting it equally. Understand?
Yes,
All right, so I'm deviating for that reason. Let's see, make it effective February 2/1 of 23, 274 support, 23 ordinary medical. There's no birth expense. There is, however, a filing fee of $150, birth record fee of $59. What's the DNA fee? 81. Total of $290 in fees. So I can give you 6 months to pay those. Is that enough time?
Yeah.
All right. All right. Is there anything further for today?
I don't have anything else.
Okay, we should be all set.
Can I pay them online or do I have to come here and pay them?
No, you can't come here and pay. You gotta either have it withheld from your pay through your employer if you're a payroll employee.
Okay.
Otherwise, if that's not possible, if you're not employed or you don't have
I do have employment.
1099 though, or are you a payroll?
I'm payroll.
All right, they'll send it over to your employer.
They will?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
All right, yep, you're all set. All right, you're all set, man.
okay.